Buffalo Sabres. Debuting in 1970 alongside the Vancouver Canucks, the Sabres looked mostly the same for the first couple decades and a half of their existence. They had a color scheme of royal blue and gold and yellow and named after a weapon that could be used for offense and defense, and spelled the English way instead of the American way. Why? Well, the name was the result of a fan vote, and whoever submitted the name just spelled it that way. I'm assuming a Canadian submitted it based on that fact alone. Buffalo is next to the border after all. Of course, as I'm sure we all know, the Sabres had a dark gritty reboot dubbed The Goat Head in 1996 to coincide with their new arena opening, but unlike other examples where the normal colors darkened, Buffalo completely changed to black and red. This would stay until the return to blue and yellow in 2006, kind of. The yellow was its usual golden shade, but the blue was navy instead of royal, and the Buffa slug was introduced as a precursor to Reebok Edge. The jerseys also ushered in front numbers after last being seen in the WHA on teams like the Chicago Cougars. As you can probably tell, no one in the NHL uses front numbers anymore. The team would revert back to their classic logo in 2010, but kept the front numbers in navy blue. This would continue after the Adidas changeover until 2020 when the Sabres made the switch back to royal blue and no front numbers to the cheers of many. So was it worth the wait? Well, I like the home blue, but I wish there was some yellow on the collar to help break up the blue, much like their classic look or even the navy years. I do appreciate the bits of white on the arms and hemline stripes. The road white is the better of the two, as I feel there's plenty to break up the white. That said, the originals also featured the logo on the shoulders too, which helped to break up the colors. Now, putting the regular logo on both shoulders like those originals would be redundant, and was so even back then. So may I suggest the alternate B introduced in the Goathead days? Speaking of Goathead, in 2022, the Sabres gained a 90s throwback, which thank God has survived into the Fanatics changeover. It's the 1996 Goathead, but in the current template, and man, this is as beautiful as it was back then. But again, lacking in coloring on the collar. The original had gray and red, whereas this is black like the rest of the jersey. It's still beautiful regardless, just wish some additional detail went into it. If I could add one more jersey to their lineup for next year, it's the white version of the Goat Head. There's Sabres fans that want them to go back to the Goat Head ever since its return, so why not give fans the best of both worlds? The Dolphins and Niners have home and road throwbacks as well. Someone get me in contact with the Pagulas so I can share my ideas. As of this recording, Buffalo does not have a sponsor patch on their jerseys. Will that change soon? Wouldn't shock me. Overall, the Sabres are a good redesign, and any tweaks that I've suggested are what I'd like to see Fanatics add at some point down the line, though let's not get our hopes up. Tomorrow we have one last trip across the border with the Ottawa Senators.